Yo, what's going on, people? Today we're gonna be watching She Is Fuming because she found out her ex-husband is doing well by Auburn Preach. Damn, these girls are salty already, man. Let's hear what they have to say.
Today's topic. All right, so I'm going to read out a story for you today because this is a great story.
Oh, story time. Nice.
My ex got his act together after we divorced. My husband and I were together for 10 years, married for 6, no kids. We eventually grew apart, and that is to say I grew up and he didn't. He wanted to live the life of a teenager well into his 30s.
Man, you married him when he was acting like that. That's on you. You knew what you got into once you married this man. Ain't nobody but to blame but yourself.
The last 2-3 years together, we were horrible. After his dad passed away, he gained all this weight, lost his job. I tried to help and support him, but he would just wallow in self-pity and stopped pitching in around the house. He spent all his free time smoking weed and being around on the computer. He had to sell his junk car to pay our bills. Eventually, I had enough, and we got a divorce in 2015. We're essentially been no contact since it was finalized. Last Friday, I happened to bump into him downtown, and he's a completely different person. He lost all the weight he put on, had actually toned up some. He was wearing a tailored suit. He had an ill-fitting one for weddings and funerals while we were together. It's a little petty. And he had a nice watch.
You know what that means? That's the glow up. Say, you know what? My wife just left me. I'm in hard times right now. It's time to glow up, man. Took him 5 years to hit the glow up. 5 years he worked hard. Maybe his wife was holding him down. Who knows? She said she was supporting him. But maybe he didn't need her support. Maybe her support was what was holding him back.
He may have gotten hair plugs or something because his thinning hair wasn't as pronounced as before. He told me he bought a condo nearby within walking distance of his new job, a well-known tech firm in our town. Our encounter was brief and he was nice to me. He even apologized for how our relationship soured and wished me all the best. It's been 4 days since I saw him, and honestly, I just get angrier the more I think about it.
Why? You stuck with a dude that was acting like a teenager for 10 years. You got fed up, you left, and now you see him doing better. You got angry. That's a head scratcher right there, man.
I gave the 10 best years of my life to this man and got nothing from it. We never had kids. He never had much money. When we divorced, I started from square one. Now he's Mr. Successful while I'm struggling. My job is very stressful and I'm making less than I was 5 years ago. I live alone and money is tight. I've been having some intestinal digestive issues and doctors don't seem to know what's wrong with me. I guess I just want to know why he couldn't have been better to me and why I was never worth the effort.
Oh, it sounds so selfish, man. I mean, damn. Probably wasn't the effort because you probably was the one holding him back. Or you probably wasn't good enough. Or you made him wait too comfortable to the point where he didn't feel like changing. And now that you kicked him out, he faced some adversity, and he felt like he had to change his life around completely. Stuff like that happens sometimes.
That's it.
Oh, that was not love. That was a transaction. I can't really put the finger on it, but you are mad because he's in a better place? Man, that is not love.
Well, she's wondering why he couldn't have been in a better place when they were together.
Because these things take time. You left. You decided to end the relationship. That's what you said.
Well, they were married for 10 years.
I'm not saying no. 10 years still.
10 years is a long time. 10 years is a long time for someone to be f***ing up.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think somebody's going to stay with somebody who's f***ing up for 10 years, expecting them to turn it around? 10 years?
I'm not expecting that, but I mean, you got married. In the vow, it says for better or for worse. That is the worst.
That's facts. Hey, yo, man. Preachers speaking the gospel. That's facts, though. You gotta stay with them with the best times, and you gotta stay with them with the worst times. You signed the contract. You signed a marriage contract. It is what it is. And now you salty because he glowed up on you and you didn't. Sounds like a personal problem.
It's not me that took the vow. You did. It's an engagement that you have with someone. Maybe it lost its sense and it lost what it means, or maybe I'm being too literal with this. Yes, 10 years is a lot, but when you say for better or for worse, that's the worst. That is part of it. It could have been worse than that. That's a part of it. I understand why she left. I get it. You knew what you were getting yourself into when you married the dude in the first place.
Facts. Nothing but facts, man. You knew this dude before you married him, and you still married him. Again, sounds like a you problem.
Did she?
I don't know.
Maybe that's not what she was advertised.
Maybe
There's plenty of people who get into a marriage thinking it's one thing, then they get married. People get comfortable and they take everything for granted.
It's possible. You know what? I'm going to give it to you. We don't know. Fair. But you walk out, he feels better, you're mad because he feels better. That should be me.
I don't think she's mad that he feels better. She's mad that she was hoping he would do all those things while they were together. And it seems like the moment she's out the picture, now he's doing all the things that she wished he would have done.
Maybe she wasn't motivating him enough. Or maybe she wasn't the key factor for motivating him to work hard. It could be an array of issues that we don't know. But we do know is she's salty because he glowed up. That's it.
The human brain is really weird to function. It takes weird slap in the face for you to realize it. Okay? Maybe you were enabling him. I don't know. I was not in the relationship. You leaving him was maybe the thing that he needed to get off his ass. You were there. I supported him. I gave and I gave and I gave. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he needed you to get the fuck out of there. Sometimes you need to reach bottom of the barrel. Rock bottom.
Yeah, you gotta experience rock bottom in order to know how to feel like. You gotta experience it. That man experienced it. He said, I don't like this feeling. And I'm gonna grind my ass off until I'm at a position where I felt like I've succeeded in life. And that's what he did for the past 5 years. She didn't do that.
Pierre Fond. Peter Deep. You need to reach the bottom. Is it logic? No, it's human. So maybe her leaving was the thing that he needed. Is it sad? Yeah. Is it unfortunate? Absolutely. Poor you. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Entitlement about that I'm uneasy about. I can't really put my finger on it. I'll ponder on that and I'll let you finish. Just go. I'll come back on that. Let me just think about it.
I don't think it's entitlement. Well, it's a mixture of entitlement, jealousy, envy, and possibly control issues. And we could mix in a little bit of mental issues there too. It could be a bunch of those things that she probably has going on in her mind. She doesn't know how to fix them.
All right. Here's the truth. Him changing after you dumped him is not a big surprise. You were the catalyst, potentially. Or maybe something after you was the catalyst. But you can't hope to be the catalyst and the beneficiary. If you are what brings about change, that change may not benefit you.
And that reality hits people hard in the face every time, man. Some people don't recognize that they might be the change for worse. They don't want to believe it.
I'll give you an example. You have kids. They grow up to be adults. Sometimes they don't learn the importance of responsibility until they leave the nest. Sometimes they don't develop into real human beings and real adults until they're out of their parents' home. Maybe that person needed to leave in order to realize what they needed to do for themselves to grow. When you're in a place of comfort where you know nothing's going to go wrong, you don't have too much incentive to change. So when he was in a comfortable relationship with you, odds are he felt like, I can be complacent because I'm always going to have this girl on my back. And when that was removed from under him, he had to reassess some things. Second thing that strikes me is that I'll try to put this in business terms. When you invest in a company and it goes nowhere, like what he said earlier, it's your choice to invest in that company. You pull out, and then after you pull out, the investment takes off and the company takes off. Well, boo boo, you already sold your shares. It's over.
Yeah, you have no part in the company anymore. You already sold your portion of the company. You all of a sudden get mad because the company you showed your shares of starts to blow up. You can't get mad at the company. You can only get mad at yourself. You made a terrible business move.
That's your cut investment. You don't get a return on investment.
But that was business.
When it comes to people, I feel like it's very similar. You know, at the end of the day, what he said wasn't totally off. When you marry somebody, you marry them as they are. Because you grow doesn't mean someone's going to grow at the same rate as you, right? You said something I thought was interesting, which was when we met together, when we got together, things were great, but I grew past him and he never grew up. Even to his 30s, he kept all these bad habits. Your speed of growth may not be his speed of growth. We all grow differently. And so the fact that he didn't grow at your pace, that's the reality. I have friends from high school who I love. But the reality is we grew apart because they didn't grow at the same pace or in different directions than I did. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to look at them like, why haven't you guys joined me in this? They have their journey.
Yeah, I see people be forcing friendships throughout high school and all that. Listen, if you're not meant to be with this person, you're not meant to be with this person. Y'all going to grow apart some way. If y'all cool like that, then kudos to y'all. But if you're going in a direction where your friend's not going, just leave them be. Let them grow on their own. Both y'all gonna grow. And y'all eventually might meet each other again. Who knows? People grow at different rates.
Not a race, it's a marathon. How long can motherfuckers last?
People can grow apart, and that's a normal process. That process doesn't mean that one person messed up or the other one didn't. We all have our journeys. Even within relationships, that's a reality. He's 37, you're 34. So I bet you guys got married when you were around 24 and 27. That's young. Too young. Too young. Professionally, we're not established. As adults and human beings, we're not completely sure of who we are yet. For you guys to get married that young and be surprised that you're growing apart, it's not surprising to me. Right?
Yeah, if you're not established and you decide to marry someone, that's the ultimate new move of life. You gotta make sure you got your own place, your own funds, your own car. Make sure everything's accounted for in regards to bills. Then maybe you could find someone that you can marry, maybe. But there's no rush to marry anyone. Not in this day and age. Just make sure you're established first. And then you might want to look for a potential partner. But until then, it's grind time.
So that's the other thing to consider. And the last thing is, your unhappiness with your current situation has nothing to do with him. If you're in a relationship, you come out of it, you have all this time afterwards and things don't go well or go the way that you want, and you see they're going well for him, and you're like, what happened? Why did you... Boo-boo, you should be focused on your situation. And if your situation was better, I guarantee you wouldn't be mad at the progress that he made in his life.
That's facts. She got petty because she's in a shitty situation. He's not. Classical 100% jealousy right there in that situation. No doubt about it.
You mad because you didn't do everything that you needed to do to set yourself up. And now you're looking for outside excuses for why your circumstances suck so much. Oh, this guy, I couldn't believe he did this to me. Why is he doing better now? That's selfish.
She don't want to take no type of responsibilities for what happened in her lifetime. That's why. A lot of these females don't like to take responsibility for anything that they do. They feel as if an outside force is always trying to tamper with their movements, when really it's their actions fucking up their own money flows or their own relationships, things of that nature. So I'm not surprised that she made up an excuse as to why she's doing shitty. It's not surprising at all.
You're comparing yourself.
That's just selfish. If you aren't in a good place, that's your fault. If you, after 3, 4, 5 years of marriage is done now, and you haven't gotten to a better place, that's your fault. You're bitter, you're angry, and you're seeing somebody who used to be beneath you be ahead of you by your own standards, and you're mad because you could have had a piece of that. It's entitlement.
You left because you didn't want to date down. If we want to be super petty,
Yeah.
that's what it is. But now that he caught up to you and surpassed you, now he doesn't want to be in the same position you were in. Maybe that's what it is. That's what bothers me. You left because you dated down. He surpassed you and he's like, hey, well, sorry about before. No hard feelings. I'm out. He wouldn't do that. You're pissed because he took the same position that you did. He's at the position where when you left at.
He's the ideal man you would have wanted for your dream life, and you're realizing you missed out on that.
But
and there's something else that she said that was interesting. She said, I gave him 10 best years of my life, meaning she already feels like she's past her prime.
Well, that's how society makes women feel.
Sure, but that's how she also feels. Yeah. I know women who are in their mid-30s who feel great about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not an excuse.
It's not.
Right?
She just has low self-esteem issues, man. That's what it is. Once a person has low self-esteem in their adult years, it's not going to change. It's never going to change. She passed the prom. Now she bitter that her ex-husband is doing better than her. Classical case of a person with low self-esteem would do, man.
And so if you're thinking that way, then of course you're not going to attract anything positive. So, boom, you have the ability to change a lot. We live in a place where women can make just as much as men. You guys can do the work. You guys can create your own opportunities. You can ask men out. You can do all this stuff. If your life is not going the way you want it to, it's not because your ex was a deadbeat. It's because it's your fault. The fact that you stayed with him for 10 years, that's your fault. The fact that you're bitter right now, that's your fault. All this to say, there's no point in wallowing in this. And the fact that you're angry about it, you're not angry at him. You're angry at yourself for not doing what you needed to do to set yourself up.
There's something unhealthy about that.
About being angry about it?
Her and being angry at.
Of course, she's bitter.
Yo, man.
She's bitter about life.
Bitter.
Only somebody who's bitter about life would get mad that an ex is doing well.
Concentrate on yourself.
Yeah.
Stay focused, B.
Yeah. Even if he wasted a lot of years with you, you decided to stay in that relationship. You should have cut bait way earlier.
When you focus on yourself, you're in competition with people that you don't even know you're in competition with. Yeah. And now you're in that position. He doesn't even know he's a competition.
Facts, man. When you're in that grind state, nothing can stop you, man. Nothing.
He's just that ex, and he's sorry about what he did before. Focus.
So, if you got bitter feelings about your ex, if somebody you left started doing way better, and you're like, oh my God, stop. Just focus on your own stuff. Do better for yourself. I had a girl who did that to me. She was upset that I got my shit together.
She got upset that you got your shit together. Say that again?
That sounds like a jealous woman. It's a great thing I avoided her, man. Should have been nothing but trouble. I'm guaranteeing it.
Here's the thing, right?
She got upset that you got your shit together.
So, when I wasn't doing much, had no money in my name, nothing else, she didn't think it was a good prospect. Then I started figuring stuff out. And she's like, oh, you really coming? And she tried to slide back in, you know what I'm saying? And I was like,
know what I'm saying?
Nah,
B.
none of that. But I just remember her being like, man, I wish it would have been like this a couple of years back. And I was like, no, boo-boo, it took me this whole journey to get to this place.
It took me this long.
They don't understand the grind process, man. Some of them don't understand it takes years for you to reach where you want to reach in regards to what you feel as though what success is, man. In order to reach your goals, it might take years for you to reach your goals. If some girls ain't with that, just leave them off to the side, man. It is what it is.
My results didn't just come here. It takes time.
That's it.
So
you got to work on that.
I mean, I didn't get mad about it, but yeah. So, all this to say, guys, man or woman, just don't be bitter. It really doesn't do you any justice. And if you're feeling angry about something like that, you don't have to beat yourself up over it. Just don't give it energy. It's not real unless you start fucking doing stuff about it. All right, you got a little bit of ego. Your ego's bruised. Keep moving. Start working on stuff.
Facts. Life goes on, man. You know? You gotta get up off your ass and keep doing this work. Time waits for nobody.
It'll pass.
Give you more power to work on you.
Exactly.
I hope it gives you more fuel to work on you because, girl, staying and dwelling on that, it's not gonna advance. It's not gonna advance your predicament. But whatever, it is what it is.
So tell us what you guys think in the comments below. We want to hear your input. What do you guys think about this story?
Well, the way I see it, this girl needs to put that bitter energy in towards working on her career. She needs to stop wasting time dwelling on this situation with her ex-husband. Her ex-husband clearly moved on, and he's clearly successful, as you can see in the story. But she's still bitter about it. And not to mention, she has bad karma coming her way. She just got to put in the work, put some time to focus on what she wants to do, and hopefully she could reach her goals. But until she has that focused mentality, that mindset in which she only has to grind and grind alone, she's not going to reach where she want to reach. She's going to still think about this. She's just not. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if y'all new. And until next time, this is Sway B. And I'm out of here. Peace.
Nå heier nærmer seg, spør alle hva jeg gjør.